What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Playmakers Pod. I'm your host, Isaac, the other host, Joseph. Let's get into the action today. First things first, we got John Morant acting stupid again. We just talked about this on the last episode, how John Morant, he's not setting a pretty good example right now. He's been on some pretty bad stuff lately, and today he took it to another level. As reported by Shams earlier this morning, he was seen flashing a gun on his IG Live, and Adam Silver and the NBA has decided to suspend him for 2 games. So we had just talked about this the other day, that John Morant has to be a better example. He's the face of the franchise. He can't be seen doing stupid stuff like this. What do you think about this, Joseph?
Yeah, he just really needs to get away from these people that he's hanging out with. He needs to grow up already, man. He's like the face of this franchise, and he's doing stupid stuff still. But yeah, he's going to be suspended for 2 games. This is what John Morant, his statement that he released this morning. He says, "I take full responsibility for my actions last night. I'm sorry to my family, teammates, coaches, fans, partners, the city of Memphis, and the entire Grizzlies organization for letting you down. I'm going to take some time away to get help and work on learning better methods of dealing with my stress and my overall being." So hopefully this is like a big enough thing for him to actually change and not just keep doing stupid stuff like the way he's been doing. Yeah. Isaac mentioned that we talked about this on Thursday's show, but yeah, he's been doing it finally led to a suspension. He actually got suspended this time, so maybe this is like a big enough thing for him to actually get rid of the people he's hanging out with that obviously the people that he's hanging out with really don't care about his well-being when he's doing shit like this, when they're letting him do shit like this. So yeah, the Grizzlies also probably have to be worried about John Morant. Hopefully he changes. Hopefully this changes the way his attitude towards this kind of stuff. He shouldn't be doing this stuff. I'm pretty sure this is like rare. This is like stuff we're never gonna see ever happen again. The Grizzlies are hoping to be a really playoff threat, and they're just a couple of weeks away from the playoffs. And your star player, the franchise player, is doing stupid stuff like this, or he has to be suspended for 2 of the games. It was pretty dumb. Yeah, he really needs to grow up and find new people to hang out with, man, because this is just ridiculous, to be honest.
Yeah, with the Western Conference as tight as it is right now, losing him could really affect the Grizzlies' playoff positioning. I mean, every single team out there is like a 1-2 game difference. There is not that big of a gap from the 2 seed and the 7 seed. So
yeah,
this absence affects the Grizzlies. That's gonna be pretty bad for the Grizzlies. You had mentioned in his statement, he says that he needs to find better ways to relieve his stress. That seems like a pathetic excuse, honestly. You're saying you're stressed out, so your solution is to go flashing a gun on IG Live? Does that make sense?
Not really. Yeah, it just seems it just seems like an excuse, yeah.
That was a pretty pathetic excuse, to be honest, bro. And I don't like hating on John Morant. He's a very exciting player. He's a very exciting player. He's one of the young, bright stars of the NBA. He's got the future. He's got a potential to be like one of the top guys moving forward into the future. He's going to take the league into the next generation. And this guy is over here acting like he hasn't got millions already. He's acting as if like he's still like in the hood and stuff. Like you said, he needs to find different people to hang around with because obviously they don't have his best interest in mind. He's got millions and millions of dollars already. He got one of the biggest extensions from an organization. He got paid to be the face of this team. And it's pretty inexcusable to be doing stuff like this. Like you said, you don't see any other star doing this. Like, imagine if LeBron came out waving a gun around when he was 20 years old. You never see it happen. You never see it happen. Yeah,
it's like
the Grizzlies
like
gotta
a once
hope
in 100.
that this changes. For real. 1 in 100. The Grizzlies need to hope that this changes, or else I don't know, man. I don't think they can move on from John Morant, but they can't be letting him put that kind of. You can't let him be representing your franchise like that. As you said, I hope he really does learn from this. If I were to bet, though, I think this isn't the last time he's gonna do stuff like this. If I'm being honest, but oh no, man, it's pretty bad to be honest.
Yeah, the Grizzlies, they really need to get their shit together because the Grizzlies right now, they got some teams on their tail in the West right now because the Kings, 5-game winning streak. Suns, they got KD back. They won 3 in a row already. Golden State's won 5 in a row. So, yeah, there's teams coming up in the West. Yeah, so they really need to get their shit together, especially Ja, because I don't know what they're doing. You shouldn't be having to worry about this kind of stuff for your franchise player. Like, it's not like he's the dude off the bench, like the 6th man off the bench or like the 10th man off the bench. This is your franchise player, your best player on the team, and you have to worry about this shit in the middle of the season. Yeah, so it's pretty tough situation for the Grizzlies right there. All right.
And you're paying him top tier money, too.
Yeah.
You're paying him, what is it? It's about to be like $40 million a year or something like that to be your star guy. And this is how he represents you. The Grizzlies, I mean, they're lucky to have Ja Morant. They really are. They really got lucky in that draft lottery that they're able to move up to number 2 pick and be able to select Ja Morant. But they need to they need him to represent the team better. They really, if I tell you, the star player's energy is going to be contagious to the rest of the team. I mean, you can see it when you see the Grizzlies. So Ja Morant's out here acting like a fool on IG Live and out here messing with finish line employees. What do you think the rest of the team is going to follow?
Yeah, they need some more veteran guys in that locker room too, because most of the guys are basically just all these guys in Memphis really have the same attitude. You see Dylan Brooks, all those guys, they're all young. So it's probably going to be easily influenced by Ja Morant, especially if he's the leader of the team. Yeah,
exactly.
Well, all right then. That would probably be most. Let's go on to the next topic. So yeah, just disappointing for the Grizzlies and Ja Morant. All right, let's talk about some of the games from last night. Probably the biggest, I don't really know if it's the biggest game, but the game I want to talk about the most, one of the hottest teams in the NBA, and one of the coldest teams right now in the NBA, Kings and Clippers. Kings ended up winning this game 128-127. De'Aaron Fox has been on 10 of the last 5 games in this winning streak for the Kings. They've won 5 in a row, and it's been because of De'Aaron Fox. He's been hot. This game he had 33 points, 7 rebounds, 7 assists. His duo, his running mate, Sabonis, 23 points, 7 assists, 10 rebounds, only 3 assists away from the triple-double. Herder finally getting back on his shooting streak. He was cold for a little bit. He started off hot in the beginning of the season. Pretty good game here, 3 for 4 from 3, 18 points. On the Clippers side, Westbrook was Westbrook and PG were the leading scorers, no Kawhi. Kawhi was on load management last night. Westbrook had 27 points, 10 assists, 2 rebounds. PG, 28 points, 7 rebounds, 8 assists. But yeah, Eric Gordon too. Eric Gordon got 21. This is like Eric Gordon's real first game though, actually being good for the Clippers though, because he was averaging like 7 points I think on like 28% 3-point shooting before this. Yeah. So yeah, Eric Gordon finally had a decent game. Finally, one of the acquisitions from the trade deadline finally had a decent game. Bones Highland, horrible game. 4 points, 1 for 9 from the field, over 6 from 3. Yeah, terrible game from him. But yeah, this score looks a little bit closer to what the game actually was, because the game was like almost over towards the end of the game. It was like an 8-point game, and the Clippers they got the score to be like a 1-point game, but the game was over for like a minute to go. But yeah, the Kings have won 5 in a row, 37-25. Clippers are 0-5 ever since acquiring Russell Westbrook. I really can't put the blame on Russ though for this. No, he's not really the reason why they're losing. I think the reason they're losing is because they have inconsistency. They don't have any team chemistry because Paul George and Kawhi are missing like every other game. So it's kind of hard to build team chemistry when these guys are missing every other game. Apparently, it's not even their choice because Paul George, in an interview, he was making it seem like it was the Clippers forcing Paul George and Kawhi to miss these games because they don't want them to get injured. But I really don't know if I can believe that. But I really can't put the blame on Westbrook ever since he's come to, to the Clippers. Westbrook's averaging 17 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists. He's actually shooting pretty good from 3, 35%. Shooting 53% of the field. So they're actually really good since he's came. It's just, yeah, the inconsistency with this team and the way they're playing defense. Did you see the way they were playing defense on him in Golden State?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Dude wasn't getting guarded at all.
Yeah, Draymond said he wanted to mess with Russell Westbrook's confidence. And that's why he was doing that. He wanted to see what Westbrook would do. And Westbrook basically did what Draymond wanted him to do. He didn't shoot the threes at all. It was good shot attempts too. Like, you might as well just take those, but he was like, that's how bad his confidence is from 3. They were leaving him open like that.
Yeah, he should have just pulled some of those.
Yeah, he should have just took some of the shots. Because if the Warriors are going to be able to play defense like that, if the Warriors were able to play defense like that, yeah, it was going to be a bad day. Because they basically don't have to guard one of their guys. Like, they can just leave one of the guys open. Because they don't have to worry about him. Because he's not going to be aggressive.
Yeah, it's 4 out of 5 at that point. Yeah,
it's just been I don't know what the Clippers are going to really do. Because they're like, they're still going to make the playoffs, but I don't really trust this team as much as I did coming out of All-Star break. Yeah, they've been terrible as of recently.
Yeah, I know. They still got one of the best players in Kawhi, though. Like, I think a lot of people forget how crazy a healthy Kawhi Leonard is, especially when it gets to the playoff time. Kawhi Leonard could really, really put the team on his back. But, like you said, I'm not sure how far he could take this Clippers team. They haven't been moving in the right direction lately. Like you said, I don't think it's Russ's fault at all. But you definitely have higher expectations for this team, especially after they made some new acquisitions after the trade deadline. For them to be 0-5 is pretty crazy to me, to be honest. Like, you would expect this team, coached by Tyronn Lue. Tyronn Lue isn't even that bad of a coach either. He's shown that ever since Doc Rivers got fired, he's a pretty solid coach. Yeah, the Clippers, they're just... I don't know what's going on with them right now.
Yeah, it's just tough. I don't know. They were doing better when they had Terrence Mann at point guard. And maybe I don't know if they're probably not going to run Westbrook off the bench. They're probably not, especially after Paul George. Paul George wanted him to be here so badly, so I doubt they're ever going to. I doubt. They probably feel like they can't do that to Russ, even though they wouldn't probably. Yeah, but Terrence Mann, they were doing better when Terrence Mann was at point guard. But yeah, they're probably not going to bench Russ. They were also missing Powell this game, but still, it's like they still lost 4 in a row before this game. But yeah, then the Kings as well. The Kings are only 1 game behind the Grizzlies, so yeah, they're catching up for the second seed. And the Grizzlies are right behind them. Yeah, the Grizzlies are going to be without John Morant for a few games. So I wonder what's going to happen there.
That's crazy. Yeah. Imagine the Kings moving up to number 2.
Yeah, that would be crazy.
Who would have thought that at the beginning of the year? The Kings as a 2 seed. I thought they might have been like a play-in team, maybe like a 10-9 seed. I don't think anybody had them as a 2 seed outside of people in Sacramento. And even the people in Sacramento, I don't even know how much confidence they had in their team.
Yeah, I don't even know either. I have them like at the 7th or 8th seed probably. But yeah, they've exceeded my expectations. Yeah, definitely. Especially if they walk away the season with the 2nd seed. Yeah, that would be crazy.
It's like a win-win trade for both teams, the Tyrese Halliburton and Domantas Sabonis trade.
Oh, yeah, it definitely was a win-win trade.
I remember a bunch of Kings fans were pissed off about that when it first happened.
Yeah, it wasn't really that good of a fit between it was harder to fit them together because they're basically both point guards. Mm-hmm. It was kind of hard to fit Halliburton and Fox together. And then both of them were all-stars this year. Sabonis is still pretty young. I'm pretty sure like 26, 27. So yeah, Sabonis. Not that old yet. But yeah, it's been a win-win trade for both teams. Both. Pacers got like a kind of like a franchise player. Yeah, they're franchise
they got their franchise point guard.
Yeah, and then Kings are contending for the 2nd seed this season. So yeah, it's been a really good trade for both sides.
It's crazy. They're finally about to break their playoff streak.
Yeah, they will. Yeah, finally. It's been a long time.
I know, like 18 years or something like that.
Yeah, it's been a while.
It's insane.
Early 2000s. Yeah. All right. So the next game, this was a really good game as well. It was Nets versus Boston. Brooklyn took this win, 115 to 105. Brooklyn actually came back down 28. They're down 20 in this game, and they came back and they beat them by double digits. It's pretty impressive.
Yeah, I remember Boston took the lead pretty early that game. I thought it was going to be a rough night for Brooklyn.
Yeah, but Mikal Bridges went off. He's got 38 points, 10 rebounds, 4 assists. Yeah, offensively, he's been amazing with the Nets ever since he got traded here from Phoenix.
Mm-hmm.
Finney Smith, 17 points, 5 of 11 from 3, 9 rebounds, 3 assists. Cam Johnson, 20 points. Spencer Dinwiddie, 17 and 8. On the Boston side, Jaylen Brown, 35. Jason Tatum, 22. Yeah, Jason Tatum really didn't have that good of a night, though. He had 22 points, but it was basically like, yeah, he took 23 shots. Yeah, you can't. Yeah, he took more shots than he had points, so yeah, not that good of a night from him. And basically nobody else showed up for Boston last night. That would be Derek White at 16. Nobody else on the bench scored except for Derek White, Sam Hauser. I don't even know who Sam Hauser is.
God damn.
Grant Williams had 1 point, and everybody else on the bench 0. And Horford, Robert Williams was 6 points for each of them. Yeah. Nobody really showed up for Boston last night. It's probably the reason why they choked this 28-point lead. Yeah, that's pretty.
It's crazy. Yeah, you don't expect this type of meltdown to happen from the Boston Celtics. That's like you don't expect this to happen from them, especially against the Brooklyn team that just traded away their 2 best players, and they're clearly heading in a different direction now.
Yeah, Boston's been struggling coming out of All-Star break. Like they won some games, but they haven't been like the way they were before the All-Star break. It's really, the Bucks are still on their 16-game winning streak. So right now, it's looking like the Bucks trying to separate a little bit from Boston. If Boston keeps on losing these games,
Milwaukee keeps on winning. Clear number 1. That's their opportunity right now.
Yeah, Boston can't afford to lose these type of games, especially when you're up by 28. It's going to be that's a tough loss.
And Brooklyn could still keep themselves in the playoff picture too. They keep performing like this.
Yeah, I was a little worried about them, but yeah, if they win games like this, they'll probably. Damn, they're still ahead of Miami. That's disappointing for Miami this year.
It really is. I don't get how you're a few games away from making the finals to now you're not
being in the play.
They're like a 7 seed. Yeah,
7 seed.
Oh my god, that is terrible. They'll probably run it back against Boston in the first round, and they'll probably end up getting killed again. If I'm being honest, it's gonna be worse this time.
Yeah, it'll probably be worse this time. Yeah, it's
Jimmy
just tough.
Butler would have to turn to like prime Michael Jordan again if he wanted to make another run at it.
Yeah, somehow he does play better in the playoffs though. He does play better in the playoffs.
So I don't know. Finals Tatum is gonna need to come back, and then prime Jimmy Butler is gonna have to show up, and maybe they might be able to pull off an upset, but I really doubt it.
Yeah, the roster just isn't as good as it was last year. Kyle Lowry's
getting older too.
Yeah, Kyle Lowry's pretty washed. Not washed fully, but he's not as good as he was. They lost P.J. Tucker, then they got a washed Kevin Love starting at power forward. Basically just him and Bam and Hero. Hero's inconsistent too. He has nights where he shoots the lights out of the building, and there's nights where he shoots like 1 for 20. So it's pretty. Yeah, he can't be that inconsistent.
Yeah,
all right, we're gonna talk about another hot team in Golden State. Golden State took their 5th win in a row, 108 night over. 108-99 the final score over Pelicans. Pelicans continue to be disappointing without Zion. Golden State won 5 in a row. This game was really Klay Thompson and Jordan Poole. I'm pretty sure the other night against the Clippers, the Warriors scored 42 points in the 3rd quarter against the Clippers. That was basically the end of the game.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was really some of the younger guys stepping up here for Golden State. Kuminga, 19 points off the bench. Anthony Lamb, 11 off good efficiency. And JaMychal Green even had 14. It's probably like a season high for JaMychal Green. And Jordan Poole was doing really good the last few games, but he had 18 this year. 18 this game. Klay Thompson was the leading scorer with 27. Then the Pelicans, I really don't like talking about the Pelicans anymore. Pretty disappointing for me.
Mm-hmm.
CJ McCollum had 25, 8 for 21. Pretty bad. Ingram, 17 points, 15 for Trey Murphy. Yeah, it was pretty mediocre night. For New Orleans, Golden State is still looking like they could still be a finals contender this year when they get Curry back. I'm pretty sure Curry's coming back today. I think.
Oh boy, yeah, they could.
So yeah, they won 5 in a row without him. I don't think Curry's coming back today. It's probably tomorrow. I know he's coming back soon. Today or tomorrow.
Play against next.
Didn't they play against the Lakers?
Ah man, that's gonna suck for LA.
Yeah. Yeah, the Lakers have no LeBron. Took an LA yesterday too.
The Warriors have
Yeah, he's
thrown
playing.
themselves into that mix there in the West, where it's like
Yeah,
2-7. I'm telling you, like it's all one game difference. I'm pretty sure the Mavs could be a 7 seed one night, the Clippers could be a 7 seed, Warriors could be a 7 seed one night. Who else? I think the Suns are gonna keep moving up, but anybody like that whole Western Conference could really fluctuate. That's why this final stretch is going to be so important for everybody to get their seeding right and for them to be able to avoid that play-in tournament.
right now it would be the Suns, Golden State Warriors first round playoff matchup. That would actually be a really good game, a really good series. Suns versus Golden State round 1. That'd be really nice.
4-5.
Yeah, 4-5. Yeah, probably.
Yeah,
That's probably the series I want to
3-6.
see. First round. Yeah, that's pretty
I'd say
good.
we're gonna get some good matchups. I think all across the board is gonna be good matchups
Yeah,
in the Western Conference.
yeah. The West is pretty evenly matched right now.
Yeah.
And anybody can really win. All right. Let me see. Any other games interesting? Let me see. We can talk about New York versus Miami. New York took a. Actually, this game actually pretty interesting. I forgot about this game. Yeah, New York won by 2 points off of Julius Randle buzzer beater. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Nice shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot about this game. Yeah, Julius Randle went off. He had 43 points, 9 rebounds, 3 assists. I didn't even know that he did that good. Brunson 25 points, 8 assists, 2 rebounds. And then Emmanuel quickly off the bench, 21 points. Only missed 3 shots. Yeah, it was basically those 3 guys. Oh, RJ Barrett too. RJ Barrett 17. It seems like every time I look at this, RJ Barrett has like 15 points, 17 points. And he has like the same. He has the same shit with like he like misses all of his threes and he has like 8 for 15. It's like the same. It seems like he has the same stat line every time I look at it.
Yeah.
Jimmy Butler, 33 points, 5 assists, 8 rebounds. Hero 29, 6 and 8. Yeah, Hero's pretty good night. Bam 18, 4 and 4. Kevin Love, 9 points. Oh yeah, I forgot. Julius Randle was working on Kevin Love. Yeah, never mind. That's what happened.
Oh yeah. No wonder. No wonder he
Yeah.
finished the party.
Yeah, I don't know why Kevin Love. Damn, this is how bad this roster is that you have to start Kevin Love. Because it's either you can start Kevin Love or you can start Corey Zeller.
Oh
Yeah.
boy.
Unless
It's
you
the
just go
same
full
thing
small
either
ball.
way.
Yeah, unless you just go
It's
full
just-
small ball and you just start Caleb Martin at small forward and you put Jimmy Butler at power forward. That's the only way. If you just want to go small ball right there and keep Bam at power forward, I mean at center. Yeah,
That's
because
probably. Oh man, I
Yeah.
can see why they got to start Kevin Love now.
yeah, because Bam's not that tall for a center. He's pretty like 6'9", but that's not tall compared to some other big man in the NBA.
Mhm.
Like he went up against Mitchell Robinson. Mitchell Robinson's like 7'1". That's pretty.
Yeah, no,
They'll
other
be-
centers got
they'll
a
be
pretty
running-
sizable advantage on him.
Yeah, that'd be a pretty small ball lineup. I don't even know. I think I'd rather have Kevin. Yeah, but then off the bench, your bench would be. It would just. Yeah, their roster is not as good as it was. Really,
Oh,
their bench
boy.
is really. Kyle Lowry still. Yeah, Duncan Robinson's getting paid so much money just to not even play anymore.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, he had a good little run, and then that's crazy. It happened to him.
Yeah, and then Kyle Lowry, I think he's injured right now. But yeah, it was a tough ass game winner from Julius Randle though. Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, it was a pretty good game for the Knicks. I'm pretty sure the Knicks on a winning streak too. I believe. Let me check.
I think like 6 games.
Yeah. Oh, 8 games now. Yeah, 8 games.
8 games? Oh
Yeah.
shoot! God damn. What seed are they right now? They're still behind the
fifth
Cavs
seed.
though, right? Yeah, number 5
Yeah.
behind the Cavs. That's gonna be a pretty
Yeah.
good series. I feel like it probably
Yeah, so-
stays that way. The top
It's only
3 are
one
probably
game.
locked in. Milwaukee, Boston, and Philly. Those top
Yeah.
3 are probably locked in. I mean, the order could fluctuate between Boston and Milwaukee, but as far as the top 3 goes, I'll probably stay the same. So that leaves the Cavs and the Knicks likely having that first round series. That's probably going to be a good series.
Yeah, I think more than likely the top 5 seeds are probably staying the same. Like, I don't know. It's probably going to be Milwaukee, Boston at number 1 or number 2.
Mhm.
Philly at number 3, and then Cleveland and New York. They're only one game apart from each other, so they could basically flip flop.
So,
I don't think
yeah.
anybody else is catching up to those top 5 because Brooklyn is inconsistent right now because they're on a losing streak before they beat the Celtics yesterday. So yeah, and Miami's we just talked about Miami right now. Pretty pretty disappointing for them after almost making it to the finals last year.
I know.
Yeah, so yeah, it was a nice game for the Knicks. Knicks continue their winning streak, moving up the standings. That might be the last
Knicks have
game.
been getting a lot of time on this show.
Oh yeah, they have.
God damn. I wouldn't expect myself to be talking about the Knicks this much.
I feel like we've been talking about the Pelicans too. I'm tired of talking about them.
Oh, for real, yeah. It's usually negative
talking about them.
though.
Yeah, it wasn't. It's just disappointment for the Pelicans every time I talk about.
Yeah.
Talking about them. Let's see. I don't really think any of these other games are too interesting. We'll talk about the Lakers, Minnesota. So real quick, we can talk about them. Minnesota took an 8-point dub. Let's see. Oh, it's pretty mediocre. Oh, Davis went off. It took an L though, but Davis went off. 38 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists. Yeah, nobody else did shit for the Lakers. Malik Beasley, 15 points, terrible efficiency, and nobody else did it. Oh, God damn, this lineup without LeBron, it looks ass. Like really.
No, like for real.
Yeah, especially when Vanderbilt doesn't do as much. They had it was like Troy Brown, Vanderbilt, Davis, Schroeder, and Beasley. Yeah, they don't have Russell or LeBron. Yeah, Edwards didn't even do that good yesterday. He had 19 points. The guy who did good yesterday was Rudy Gobert. I can't say his name. Rudy Gobert.
What was his stat line?
22 points. He had 14 rebounds, 3 assists.
That's pretty solid for him. Usually Gobert isn't too much of a scorer. He'll put up like a solid 10 to 14. 10 to 16. But if he get about 20, that's pretty solid, yeah.
I guess Davis couldn't guard him because he's the guy defending him, so.
That's true. You don't really got to do much to defend him either. I remember last year in the playoffs, they would just foul him all the time when he was playing against Dallas. He could barely get his free throws.
Yeah. I forgot about Schroeder. He had 12 points. Yeah, he shot 3 for 13, 6 points, but 12 assists. I mean 12 assists, not 12 points, 12 assists. Pretty good.
That's solid.
12 assists, yeah. Nas Reed, off the bench, 15 points, 7 rebounds. Yeah. Minnesota just keeping themselves in the, playoff spot? Yeah, in the play-in, right? Yeah. And the Lakers are 30 and 34. Yeah, these are the type of games the Lakers need to win. It's not like Minnesota had some crazy night where they couldn't beat them or something. It's not like they shot 80% from the field or some shit. This is just
Anthony Davis did his thing too.
Yeah. Yeah, they just need everybody else to step up. Yeah, I don't know what the fuck Malik Beasley and Schroeder were doing last night. They couldn't shoot for shit. Alright, that was the last game we're going to talk about today. We're going to move on to some injuries that have happened. We're talking about Jonathan Isaac and Brandon Clark. Both of them are out for the season. This is tough for the Grizzlies. They're already losing John Morant for a couple games. Now they're going to lose one of their best defenders, one of their best big men as well. It's been pretty nice this year. Got a contract extension at the beginning of the year. But yeah, it's pretty tough for the Grizzlies, especially when there's a bunch of teams in the West catching up to them.
Hey, you know what's funny too? Is when they sat down with John Morant and they asked him, what teams do you got to worry about? And he said, the Celtics. And they asked him, what about the West? He said, I'm not worried about the West. And now look at him. Oh boy, it's gonna be tough for him. He got some karma for that one. Yeah,
they asked him about it again too, and he's still confident that they were the best. That he was the best player in the West or some shit. Or that he was the best player in the NBA. So yeah, Brandon Clark. He was averaging 10 points this year, 5 rebounds, 65% from the field. Yeah, solid big man off the bench. One of the best big men off the bench. Yeah, it's tough loss for the Grizzlies. Well, Dylan Brooks also got suspended for a game too because of he finally reached the technical fouls amount of technical fouls before he gets suspended. He already reached it. Yeah, so
yeah. Oh my god.
Tough Saturday for the Grizzlies fans, man. Tough Saturday.
That's crazy. The Grizzlies are one of the most liked rosters in the NBA. I feel like over time they're becoming one of the biggest heels. It's getting. I don't know if people are starting to like them anymore.
I don't think anybody likes them anymore. To be honest with you, especially I think Dylan Brooks already made it like nobody liked them anymore. No, after Dylan Brooks, all the shit he does, nobody likes the Grizzlies anymore. Yeah, John Morant's doing stupid shit. Yeah, The only player I like now, basically, the only player I like personally is Jaren Jackson.
Desmond Bain.
That's the only player I like on this roster.
Jaren Jackson, yeah.
Yeah. I really don't like anybody else on this roster. This roster's pretty. Yeah, I don't really like anybody else.
I can see them getting bounced in the first round, to be honest. They run into a solid team. I'd tell you, all the way down to 7, they get stacked. If they run into the Clippers, I could see them getting bounced. If they run into the Warriors, they could get bounced. If they run into the Mavs, they could get bounced. As long as, like, the Lakers don't climb up to number 7 somehow, some miracle, then I could see them getting bounced pretty early. I'd tell you, they could have gotten bounced by Minnesota, too.
Yeah, they could have gotten it. Yeah, they almost did last year. So, yeah, it's like, yeah, if all the drama, too, that they have this season, I could see them getting bounced out of the first round.
And this dude's over here talking like, oh, I don't got to worry about anybody in the West. It's like, bro, what are you talking about?
Yeah, it's just tough for the Grizzlies. The Grizzlies fans, not for the Grizzlies players, because this is what they do themselves. The fans themselves, yeah. Yeah, it was just a tough Saturday for the fans this weekend. All right, the other injury, what's his name? Jonathan Isaac's out for the season as well. Yeah, really tough.
That's tough for this dude, bro. He missed like 3 years in a row off an ACL tear. He comes back, he's already done for the year. Oh my god,
yeah, it's a tough injury for him. It's probably he's probably not gonna get any real. I wouldn't be surprised if the Magic try to move off of him. Oh, the only way you're probably gonna be able to move off of him is you have to package probably like the pick or some shit to get rid of his contract. Because pretty much like
I don't know who's gonna want him anymore after coming. Yeah, you missed 3 years off an injury, and then he comes back, and you get injured again for the rest of the year. It's like, oh man, he might have to pursue a different career path if I'm being real.
Yeah, it's tough for the Magic because they gave him that big contract ever since then. He's been injured every single season. Yeah, but they pretty much have his replacements already. What are you starting power forward, small forward? Yeah, you got Wagner, and you got, what's his name? Wagner and Paolo?
Yeah. So you don't really got to worry about it too much if you're the Magic.
Yeah, it's just hitting your cap space.
They'll have to package a pick to get over. I mean, it's not like they're contending right now, though. I said in the last episode that they'll be on the rise, but as of right now, they're not really contending. I think they could afford to eat some of these contracts and keep their draft picks. Unless they feel like they're closer than what it looks like right now, I think they could afford to do so for the time being.
Yeah, they still got a lot of cap space, too. If they wanted to make a move in the offseason, they still got a lot of cap space, so it won't really affect them too much if they still have to keep them on the team. But yeah, it's pretty much
too bad.
Yeah, it's pretty much all the news for the NBA. We're gonna move into some NFL draft stuff, combine stuff, type stuff like that. We're gonna name our top 5 favorite prospects from the draft. You can go first, Isaac.
I'll go first, dude. Mine's a simple list, you know. At number 1, I got the running back out of Texas, Bijan Robinson. You know, I've been watching this dude as a Texas fan and watching all of their games. I've seen this dude. He just dominates every single game. He's been a Heisman runner-up for the past 2 years. Well, not legitimately. He hasn't been top 4. He really should be in the Heisman runner-up conversation, though. He's that good. The only reason why he isn't, though, is because of Texas not winning as many games as some of the other teams. But Bijan Robinson has easily been the best running back in college football for the past 2 years at least. He's going to dominate in the NFL. Bijan Robinson's my favorite player in this year's draft. Number 2, I got QB out of Alabama, Bryce Young. The combine numbers came out about him earlier today. He's pretty short. I'm not going to lie. He's about my height, which for NFL QB, you don't really expect that. But Bryce Young is still one of the most talented players in the NFL. Not in the NFL, in college football. He's going to be, in my opinion, one of the best QBs in the NFL once he gets drafted. You know, he's very talented. I'd say just to get into Bama, you got to be that guy. He was able to win the Heisman for Alabama. He's been sensational all around. As I said, he makes big plays when you need him. He can deliver in the biggest moments, and that's what I like about Bryce Young. Despite his height, despite his size concerns, he's very talented. Going to be a great QB in the NFL. Number 3, I got another QB. This man came out yesterday and said he believes he's the best college player for the past 2 years. I'm talking about CJ Stroud, QB Ohio State. He said it himself. He believes he's one of the best QBs in college football. No, he said he believes he is the best player in college football. I wouldn't go as far as to say that, but he definitely has that confidence in himself. He knows his ability. He's another guy who also steps up when the lights get big. You saw that against Georgia. He was playing against the all-time historic team and that Georgia Bulldogs team. Without his top receivers, Jackson Smith and Njigba, and Marvin Harrison Jr. for about half that game, he put that team on his back, and he nearly took down the Georgia Bulldogs. That historic team that you saw beat TCU 53-3? Oh, CJ Stroud took Ohio State and nearly took out Georgia. He's been playing at a top-tier level, second behind Bryce Young, in my opinion. Bryce Young still has that Heisman win. So I can't get mad if you say CJ Stroud is better if you just flip-flop the two. Personally, though, I'll take Bryce Young first over CJ Stroud. Number 4, I got wide receiver out of TCU, Quentin Johnson. You know, TCU wasn't supposed to be in the national championship this year. They weren't even supposed to be Big 12 champions. They were supposed to be nowhere close to being undefeated. This team really surpassed expectations in a way that nobody could have ever thought of. A big reason for that is because of the production of Quentin Johnson. He was that reliable number 1 for Max Duggan to get the ball to whenever he needed to. He was a big reason why that TCU offense was flowing the way they were flowing throughout the year. Big reason why they ran through the Big 12. They were undefeated all the way up until the Big 12 championship. They were still able to beat Michigan in the playoffs. They came into an unfortunate end against the Georgia Bulldogs, but I tell you, Georgia is just that good. I didn't really expect anything different from that game. Quentin Johnson, though, I'm not sure how he's going to fare in the NFL, but as far as his college production, I really like this guy. I think he'll be a stud in the NFL. And that leads me to the number 5. This guy's been the top defensive player in all of college football for the past 2 years. He's been the consensus number 1 pick. Now, if it wasn't for QB needy teams, this guy probably would be the number 1 pick in the draft. It's been that way for the past 2 years already. This guy's a stud. He plays for one of the top teams in college football. I'm talking about Will Anderson Jr., defensive end out of Alabama. This guy has been wreaking havoc. He is the biggest part of that Alabama defense. Alabama, they always have great rosters, man. Alabama always has some of the greatest. They got some of the best players in the draft each and every year. I got Bryce Young and Will Anderson in my top 5. And Will Anderson, in my opinion, is probably going to be the best defensive player in this year's draft. He's going to have that Myles Garrett effect. He's going to have that Nick Bosa effect for whatever team drafts him. And he's truly going to be that top edge rusher that every team is looking for in today's game. That could really get after the QBs and could really take over a game.
All right. One thing I have to say, I wanted to talk about CJ Stroud because of, did you see what he said yesterday? He was like, the quarterbacks I look up to the most. He was like, Deshaun Watson and Michael Vick. It was just funny the two he picked.
Oh, yeah.
Any of the quarterbacks, you're going to pick those two guys. That's the only thing I wanted to say.
Deshaun and Vick.
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah, I still like CJ.
Yeah, no, it was just pretty funny what he said. The answers he gave. All right. My top 5. Yeah, my top 5 already. I got number 1, my favorite prospect in this whole draft, Anthony Richardson. He's putting on a show at the combine. He put it on a show earlier this morning. He delivered at the combine. Everybody expected this to happen. This is what he did. Okay, his height, he's 6'4". He weighs 244 pounds. He's the heaviest quarterback. He's also the tallest quarterback in this year's draft. He ran his 40-yard dash, 4.43, first in all the quarterbacks. His vertical was a 40.5 first, and his broad jump first. Yeah, he's really. I really believe Anthony Richardson has the highest potential out of any of these quarterbacks in this draft. He has his floor. His floor is probably if he doesn't go to a good situation though, that's the only problem I have. If he goes to a bad situation, then things could get bad. So there's some stuff you still have to work on, like the mechanics and all that stuff. Yeah, you really need to help him out with that. Better decision making. Yeah, you really need to make him a better passer too, because he's not some elite passer. But his throwing motion though is one of the best I've seen ever. That's how good his throwing motion is. He probably has the best throwing motion, I believe, out of every quarterback in this draft. Yeah, I think he has the highest potential out of everybody. He's electric on the field. He's probably the most athletic quarterback in this year's draft class. Just to put into perspective how big he is, he's bigger than Derrick Henry. He only weighs 2 pounds less than him. He's taller than Derrick Henry though. He's basically the same build as Cam. He's only 1 inch shorter, and he's like 4 pounds less. That's how big this dude is. And he's way more elusive than those two guys were either. Like, he's way more elusive than Derrick Henry is. Derrick Henry's not that elusive. This guy is. Cam Newton he's more of like a power guy too. This dude's elusive. And he's a really good thrower of the ball. He really needs to go somewhere like what Josh Allen happened. Josh Allen got Brian Dable, and Brian Dable really, he brought the potential out of Josh Allen. That's what really needs to happen with Anthony Richardson. Because if Anthony Richardson gets a guy that can bring out the potential in him, he's going to be the best quarterback in this draft class. That's how good this dude can be. So yeah, that's my number 1 prospect. My number 2 prospect is another guy that I put on the show at the combine on Thursday. Nolan Smith. Nolan Smith's also a monster off the edge. He's not the best edge rusher in this class, but he has the potential to be one of the best. He probably has the potential to be the best. He's 6'3". He weighs 235. He also put on a show at the combine as well. He had a 4.39 40-yard dash, first among all D-line. That's insane. He had a 41.5 vertical, first among all D-line. He had the 3rd highest broad jump. But yeah, this dude's also he's probably the most athletic edge rusher off the edge. That's how athletic he really is. He was probably going to be like a late first. Now he's probably going to get early first to mid first round. That's how good. He already has the potential as well. He was really good at Georgia. He missed some time this year of injury. Last year he played alongside Trayvon Walker. Trayvon Walker was the number 1 pick. And you could say he was better than Trayvon Walker last year. That's how good he was last year. This year he dealt with some injuries. But yeah, Nolan Smith has some of the highest potential in this draft class. He's going to be a force off the edge if he also goes to a team that really helps him out with his potential. A pro comparison for him is probably like a Khalil Mack. He's not as big as Khalil Mack, but he's way faster than Khalil Mack ever was. That's how good this dude is. That's how athletic this dude is. But yeah, that's my 2nd favorite prospect in this draft. My 3rd favorite, he's the son of an NFL player, Joey Porter Jr., son of Joey Porter. He played with the Steelers for a few seasons, was Super Bowl champion, when his son is a quarterback for Penn State. He's 6'2". He's got the length. He's really lengthy. He can really put him into any situation. He can play man, he can play zone, he can press, he can do everything. He can blitz if you want to be a blitzing corner. He can really do everything you want out of him. He's my favorite corner in this draft class. I don't think he has the potential. He has nice potential. But I think even he has like a high floor too. I don't really think he's gonna be bad. I think it'll be hard for him to be bad. I don't think he's gonna be like, even if he doesn't reach his full potential, I don't think he's gonna be bad. He has a good floor. I don't really think it's like a boomer bust type of thing. He has good mechanics. His dad was a coverage linebacker, so his dad probably taught him a little bit. So he's probably gonna be experienced. He's probably gonna be ready to play at the NFL level. So yeah, but Joey Porter, I really like his length. He's 6'2", very similar build. Sauce Gardner. Obviously, he's not gonna be as big as Sauce Gardner because Sauce Gardner was a freak. So he's not gonna be as big as him or anything like that. But he's close. Joey Porter Jr. is really close to Sauce Gardner's build. But yeah, that's my 3rd favorite prospect. My 4th, another guy I really like. Another guy I would be fine with the Giants drafting. 25. Trenton Simpson out of Clemson. He's also one of the best. He might be the best coverage linebacker in this draft class. Also really good. Plays one of the best run stoppers, and also he can drop back in zone. He's really not going to be an edge rusher type of guy. He's going to be the guy you're going to play in the middle, help run your defense. He's going to be like the quarterback of your defense. That's how good this dude's going to be. He ran a 4.43, really freaking fast for a middle linebacker. He's super athletic. Kind of reminds me of Isaiah Simmons, but he's more complete he's more of a complete player than Isaiah Simmons to me. He's probably going to be drafted like in the mid 15s or mid 10, mid round, mid teens, early 20s in that range. He also ran a 1.55 on the 10-yard split, 25 bench reps, pretty strong. But yeah, he's also 6'2", 235. He's basically the same build as Nolan Smith, but Nolan Smith was like a freak. You saw what Nolan Smith did. He's basically the same as Nolan Smith, but he can drop back and cover. He's probably the best coverage linebacker in this class. The only other guy I could say that's on his level, it's probably a guy out of Arkansas, Drew Sanders. He's probably the second best guy in this draft class, but for coverage linebackers. But Simpson's probably the best. So yeah, he's my third. I think he would be a really nice fit on the Giants. He's definitely what the Giants would need at that linebacker position. So hopefully maybe he ends up a Giant on draft night. My fifth favorite prospect is a guy a lot of people may not know about. Well, now people know about him. At the beginning of this year, not really known. He was like a second, third, fourth round pick. This season at Illinois though, he really stepped up and he's probably gonna be the first corner off the board. Devon Witherspoon. I really like what's his name? Joey Porter Jr.'s length. That's why he's my favorite corner. But this dude's the most complete cornerback in this class. He's the best cornerback in this class. He could be a top 6 pick, possibly as early as the Lions, probably. To be honest with you, as early as the Lions, maybe even Seattle. Maybe Seattle wants to get another elite corner, but more likely, if the Lions don't make a big move for a corner in the offseason, Devon Witherspoon could be a Lion, more than likely. He's 6 feet, hasn't done any of his combine. No, he hasn't done his combine stuff yet. He is going to compete in the combine, but he's probably the best cornerback in the draft. Really, not much to say about him. He's more like a man corner though. He can play in zone, but he's more of a man corner. That's where he's going to thrive in the man to man. But he can't drop back in zone. He's going to be pretty efficient in zone, but he's like really elite in man to man. But yeah, only my top 5 prospects in this year's draft.
No, that's a pretty solid list. I'd say Anthony Richardson being number 1. It seems like he got some high hope in him.
Yeah, I do.
He's got a lot of the physical attributes too.
Yeah, hopefully he ends up somewhere where he can actually get his potential.
No, I kind of thought about it too. Like if he were to end up in Indianapolis, how I would feel about it. At first, I was just thinking like, damn, I'd be pretty pissed if that happened. But then after seeing what he's been doing in the combine with his like physical abilities, and then how Shane Steichen's been able to develop QBs in his past, I feel like Anthony Richardson might actually be a really good pickup for the Colts if they're not able to land Bryce Young.
Yeah, Richardson's probably not the safest pick, but he's probably because I don't know how many GMs are going to be really ready to risk their job because you can't just bet off potential. That's how you get fired.
Facts. Yeah, that's facts.
So I don't know. You have to be really confident in your training staff, and your coaching staff that they're going to be able to get the best out of him and actually make him into an elite quarterback. So yeah, I don't know. Yeah, there's gonna be some GMs like Stroud and what's his name, Bryce Young. They're safe picks because their ceilings there and their floor is there. So it's not like they're gonna be a bust. They're not gonna be a boom or bust potential.
Perform.
Yeah. If you really don't build Anthony Richardson up, it's gonna be tough because it's probably just gonna be you're probably just gonna be stuck with a running quarterback that can't throw the ball if you don't build his potential up. So yeah.
Oh man.
All right, we're going to talk about some of the last topic of the day. We're going to talk about some of the NFL free agency news, some big franchise tags, Josh Jacobs, Tony Pollard, both being franchise tags. Pretty good moves for both teams. But yeah, what do you think about these franchise tags?
I think franchise tagging Tony Pollard probably was the right move. They could have let him go anywhere. They're still paying Ezekiel Elliott a big contract. I really do think Dallas needs to cut Ezekiel because this dude's just washed at this point, and Tony Pollard has already taken over as the top guy in that team. But you saw it last year once Tony Pollard went out against San Francisco in that playoff game, there was no more production out of the running game for the rest of the way. So it was very important for Dallas to be able to secure Tony Pollard at least for one more season. As far as Josh Jacobs goes, he was one of the best running backs in football this year. I'm pretty sure a bunch of fantasy owners could tell you that this guy went absolutely crazy for weeks. This dude he was a scoring machine this year. And Vegas also really couldn't afford to let Josh Jacobs go. So this is a great move for Vegas. I'm not sure how much Vegas is actually willing to commit to him long term. But as far as retaining him, this is a big piece of their offense last year. And I'd say retaining him was huge. Both of these running backs had huge impacts on their team last year. And if they want to keep up that same production, Dallas, if they want to keep up their same production in their offense and actually make a run deeper into the playoffs, retaining Tony Pollard was very important. As far as the Raiders go, whatever rookie QB they decide to bring in, whether it's a rookie, whether it's a free agent bridge guy, Josh Jacobs is really going to help take the pressure off him a lot. So, very good move for both teams. What do you think about this?
Yeah, the Tony Pollard one was pretty obvious it was going to happen. Jerry Jones was saying that they're not in the business of letting go good players. So, obviously, they were going to franchise tag Tony Pollard. Yeah, Tony Pollard will probably wind up playing on the franchise tag just because he suffered an injury. So, it'll probably be like another year until he probably will get paid. If he does good when he comes back from his injury, he'll probably get paid next year because I just don't see the Cowboys I don't think the Cowboys are going to commit. I'll be surprised if they commit to him long term or because of his injury.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they do, though. Actually, I wouldn't be surprised because Jerry Jones gives out contracts sometimes that shouldn't be given out. Like a few years ago, he gave it to Jalen Smith. Jalen Smith didn't even finish that contract. I think he barely got to year 2 of the contract, and they released him like in week 2. So yeah, I think it's like a waiting situation for Tony Pollard until he comes back from his injury. Hopefully, he comes back just as good as he was, and he gets his big payday. Josh Jacobs is probably gonna. I don't think he's gonna play on the franchise tag. Because last year they didn't pick up his 5th-year option, and they were playing him in the Hall of Fame game. So when they play in the Hall of Fame game, that means they basically don't see him that important of a player. He was the only relevant player probably playing in the Hall of Fame game. So yeah, I want my contract if I'm Josh Jacobs. If they don't pay me my contract, I'm just not playing on the tag. To be honest with you, because he has to get paid, especially after they basically doubted him and he wasn't good anymore, or that he wasn't good at all. They didn't believe in him.
Before the season, they definitely doubted him. He proved his worth, though, for sure.
Yeah, so I think he'll probably, if they really want to keep him long term, he'll probably get a contract done this offseason. Yeah, Josh Jacobs, that's the only thing I have to say about him. He shouldn't play on the franchise tag. He should get his contract. Especially after they doubted him last season. Yeah, he definitely needs to make sure he gets his contract extension. All right, some other news. This is not that big of a news. I just want to talk about it. Star 49ers kicker, Robbie Gould, said he's not returning back to the 49ers, and now he's going to sign with a new team.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, it's pretty tough. Tough loss, actually. He's a kicker, but he was really reliable for the 49ers.
He's pretty consistent,
yeah. Spent the last 16 years. I wonder why he wants to leave. I wonder if it's just because they don't want to give him the money he wanted. Because he made it pretty clear. Yeah, he's not coming back. So I wonder where he'll go. Probably a lot of teams could use a reliable kicker.
He could be used anywhere.
Yeah.
It's going to be a pretty big blow for the night. I mean, it's not going to be like the biggest blow because there's a bunch of other quality kickers that could do that job. But, yeah, I mean, he was a consistent piece for them. When Robbie Gould went to kick a field goal, I mean, he never really worried about, oh, my God, is he going to miss this? In the biggest situations, whenever he went up, you never really doubted, like, oh, my God, is he really going to miss this? But I'm sure the Niners could replace him.
Yeah, they'll find a replacement. And another report, Daniel Jones, this is from Ian Rappaport, he reportedly said it's currently 50-50 odds that the Giants and Daniel Jones are going to work out a long-term deal. And then Albert B. also reported that Jones wants over $45 million per season, while the Giants are more interested in paying him around $35 to $39 million. So, yeah, I'm not paying Daniel Jones $45 million, okay? That's just not gonna happen over here. That's insane. I don't know what the fuck this dude thinks. He threw 15 touchdowns this year, and he wants $45 million. Yeah, no.
Dude's acting like he's Deshaun Watson or Joe Burrow or something.
If this dude gets paid $45 million, I better see him next year play like fucking Patrick Mahomes. Because we don't play like Patrick Mahomes, I would be pretty fucking pissed that we paid this man $45 million. So he's fucking...
Yeah. Oh boy, that's about to be a huge L for the Giants if they're paying $47 million. They should honestly let him test the market because I don't think any other team's gonna pay him $47 million. Like I generally don't think any team's gonna get that desperate to where they pay him $47 million a year. And he's gonna come back to his senses and realize that the Giants front office was right, and he'll probably end up re-signing that way.
Yeah, 39 mil sounds pretty good.
That sounds reasonable. Yeah.
Yeah, $45 million is insane. So, yeah, especially if he's staying at $45 million, wants $45 million, yeah, just let him walk. Just let him walk. And we'll figure out the quarterback position probably in the draft.
What team would pay him that much, though?
Yeah. I don't think a team's going to pay him that much either.
I don't see anybody paying him that much.
I don't think anybody's going to pay him. I don't know. I don't know who would even think about paying him the knowledge. Especially, you don't even know how good he is going to be without Dable. Because the last few years was not good. Without Dable, they were pretty bad. So I don't know.
Yeah, it seems like he needs Brian Dable right now. He should be more worried about staying with the coach and keeping the team around him more than the money he's about to get.
Because... Yeah, I understand players trying to get the most money they can. But $45 million is fucking insane. This dude does not deserve for $45 million.
Not at all.
39 mil is like the most you can get.
He's got one playoff win.
Yeah. 45 mil is like a fucking... That's insane. Yeah, we're going to get another quarterback. I can see
why you would want to get rid of him.
Yeah, I'm not paying 45 mil. That's like most of our that's all of our cap spaces for this offseason. So basically just be paying Daniel Jones and having nobody else. So yeah. All right, other quarterback news. It says to keep an eye on the 49ers potentially being interested in Baker Mayfield. Yeah, that's pretty... I don't know how to feel about that one, but... Yeah, I guess if Brock Purdy is going to get Tommy John surgery, you're not going to have him, so I guess it's nice to add another quarterback, because Jimmy Garoppolo is probably going to want like 25 mil. Mayfield's not going to take that much money. Mayfield's probably going to get like 10 mil.
Jimmy G is probably going to be out, and then Trey Lance is going to get another shot to start again. Yeah. So it's up to him to deliver this time for sure. If Brock Purdy gets Tommy Johns and he's out for the year, then this is Trey Lance's perfect opportunity to finally get to show what he's worth. I don't get all this talk about the 49ers trying to replace Trey Lance already. I mean, you gave up way too much to acquire him already, just to throw him to the side. I mean, you only saw for 2 games, and I know you didn't really get too much production out of it. But I mean, one of the games he was playing, it was like it was a downpour in Chicago. I mean, what do you expect him to do in that? So, I don't think the Niners need to... I don't get all this QB talk with San Francisco. As I feel like as long as he's good by the beginning of the season, he'll get his shine. He'll get his moment to prove why he was drafted number 3 overall. I still disagree with him getting drafted over Justin Fields, but he's got a chance to prove it now. He's finally got a legit shot to prove it. I don't think Baker Mayfield's coming in to threaten his job. I feel like Baker Mayfield will go into that situation and know he's probably going to be the backup to Trey Lance. And it could be a pretty good signing for them if Brock Purdy's done for the year. And like you said, Jimmy G's probably going to be on a different team somewhere. I'm pretty sure some other team would want him as a starter. So you can't just roll out there with Josh Johnson again as their backup QB.
Yeah, you can't do that, yeah. Yeah, Baker Mayfield would be a pretty nice addition as a backup. Just in case another injury happens or Trey Lance is not performing up to standard. So, yeah. Then other news, let's see. Oh, Brandon Graham has interest from the Browns. He wants to return to Philly, but he's open to signing elsewhere if it's the right money. I'll be pretty surprised if Brandon Graham leaves Philadelphia because he's been there his whole career. Yeah, pretty surprising, especially to go play in Cleveland. Oh, I don't know about that, but yeah, I guess unless Cleveland's really offering him that much money that he really has, that's the only reason he would really be that interested in signing there. I'll be really surprised if he leaves.
Yeah, Philadelphia is coming off of one of their best years, too. It really would be shocking if he left the Eagles.
Yeah, I don't know how much the Browns are going to pay a guy that's like, what is he, like 35? I'm pretty sure he's old already. He's old.
Yeah,
And
yeah, he's not.
Yeah, he had
I
a
don't know what the
good
Browns are
sack
thinking.
number. But I don't really think it was just because he's like an elite edge rusher still. He's not really he's not elite anymore.
The whole
he's
Eagles
good.
defense just got a whole bunch of sacks last year.
Yeah, it's easier to get sacks when the rest of your guys on your D line are elite. But I don't really think. I don't see Brandon Graham being like a fucking guy who's gonna get paid like $20 million a year or some shit. He's already old too.
No. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
hell no.
Yeah, I'll be surprised if he leaves. He'll probably just end up back. I'll probably another 1 year deal. Let's see. Oh, Bengals safety Jesse Bates is likely to land on another team this offseason. Yeah, that was pretty obvious. They drafted Daxton Hill last year, so yeah, it's pretty. I think he's pretty overrated, to be honest with you. But
You think so?
yeah, I don't really think Jesse Bates. I can't say his name. I don't really think he's that good. He's good, but I think he's overrated.
Yeah, I get what you're trying to say. You think he's taking a step back, or you just never thought he was that good to begin with?
Well, he's taking a step back since it's good. Last year in the middle of the season, that's when he was really good. In the playoffs, he really didn't do that good this year. In the playoffs,
Yeah.
and last year in the playoffs, he didn't do that good. Man, this season he was like average. Like some people will probably have him like in the top 5 safety in the NFL, but I don't really think he's that good.
Since
Yeah,
they will
the
probably
Bengals-
pay him like a top 5 safety, though.
Oh yeah, somebody's gonna do that.
Yeah,
The Bengals didn't want to do that though, because they're actually smart. They already got
that's
some
all
replacement.
though. Yeah, they already have his replacement. He's cheaper. I don't think they really needed to retain him. I don't think it was that important for them.
Yeah, there's no. Yeah, you don't really need to. Yeah, you don't have to pay him that much money because he wants like 15 mil, 14 mil.
Mhm.
He wants money. So yeah, it's better.
Yeah.
It's better just to hold off and not pay somebody that much money, especially when you're gonna have to pay T. Higgins and Jamar Chase.
Yeah,
it's better
for
just
sure.
to.
Keep
It's
that
better
money
just to wait.
safe. Yeah.
Yeah, don't spend your money, or it doesn't need to be spent. All right, the Saints. Another little move by the Saints. Saints created $12 million in cap space by restructuring the contracts of DeMario Davis and Taysom Hill. That's a pretty small move, but
They
they
do
need
this
to
shit
make-
every year.
Yeah, they
do
need to-
this every year.
eventually they have to stop doing this, man. They have to just like go fully. They just have to, I don't know, restart because their team's pretty mid. They're mid.
Mhm.
They're mediocre. So I don't really.
They missed their opportunity.
I would have just moved off of DeMario Davis and Cameron Jordan and started rebuilding, to be honest with you, because you don't even have a quarterback. Even if Derek Carr went there, they would win the division, but it's like, yeah, they win the division with like 9 wins, and they lose in the first round of the playoffs. So it's like,
Mhm.
yeah, it really doesn't do anything for me. Yeah, so they should probably just go full rebuild, but they're not doing that, obviously, because they keep on doing these restructuring contracts. Yeah, it's pretty.
Just reset their cap space too.
Yeah. Oh, this is a pretty big move from yesterday. Shaquille Griffin. Well, I'm pretty sure he's just getting released. I don't know. Did we talk about this already?
No.
I don't know if we talked about. I don't
We
really think we did. Oh yeah, he's probably gonna get released or intended to get traded. Yeah, they basically already said they're gonna release him. It frees up 13 million cap space. He's still a pretty good player. He just didn't fit in the Jags. He didn't fit in this Jags defense, and the Jags could probably get another corner that fits better with them with the money that they have.
Yeah.
Yeah, he wasn't really good in this defense, this scheme. He was better. Like he was good in the scheme like from like 3 years ago when they didn't even have before Urban Meyer. Who was their coach before Urban Meyer? Was it Doug Marrone? Was that his name?
Was it Doug Marrone? I think so.
Yeah. He really fit in that defense when they had that type of defense, but now he doesn't really. The last 2 years, last year he was injured the whole year, and this year he was like not really that good. So yeah, it's pretty.
So if he signs in the right system, he could probably still be a solid player then.
Yeah, it'll probably still be pretty solid. Oh, I forgot about this one. Oh, Panthers have reached out to the Packers in regards to Aaron Rodgers. Per Adam Schefter, that'd be a pretty interesting move. I don't think it happens.
It would be. Yeah,
But-
I don't think it takes any further than he would be if he stayed on the Packers, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't really see that move happen. That would be surprising if that happened. The Panthers just seem like probably not. I don't see them as a destination for Aaron Rodgers.
Probably not. Yeah. I'm pretty sure they'd run a rule with the more younger guy, like Derek Carr. Somebody that's not about to be 40 for sure. I feel like the Panthers would try to go after that type of guy.
Yeah. All right, there's another report here. This Broncos star D lineman Jermon Jones plans to test the free agency market and could command a contract in the $60 to $7 million range. It's a pretty big contract.
Oh, hell no.
So that Denver could also franchise tag him. So yeah, I know this dude's actually pretty. I know who this dude is, but he's not like a. He's more like a deep tackle.
70 million?
Yeah, I don't know. I know he's underrated. I know a lot of people don't know him. I know he's underrated. I heard Broncos fans say he's really good, but yeah, he's not like in the. He's more like a. He's just like a solid D lineman. He's not anything special to me. But 60 to 70 million is pretty expensive.
Yeah. Oh boy, you think he gets it?
I probably see it happening.
You think so from Denver?
I don't know. I think some other team will pay him. If it's saying Denver's going to franchise tag him, that probably means he would probably get it if he hit the free agency market. So I don't know.
Oh, damn.
Oh, here we go. It says the Cowboys want to keep both running backs, Ezekiel Elliott and Tony Pollard. So yeah. Both of them are likely staying. Yeah, I don't know about that 16.7 million cap hit though.
That's what I was about to say. I don't think Zeke's worth it at this point.
Well, it doesn't make sense to me though because it said they're going to ask Zeke to take a huge pay cut, but then Jerry Jones is saying stuff like Elliott is like he said that Ezekiel Elliott's a difference making player. Yeah, if the owner's saying that about the player, I don't understand how he's going to take a pay cut because it's going to be like Ezekiel Elliott's going to be like, you told me I was a difference maker, so why are you asking me to take a pay cut? So it was pretty.
Yeah, so to do it for the team.
Yeah, it's pretty tough. That's the only way I can see him doing it. Cause I'm really, yeah, it's gonna be tough.
Yeah, he's not really much of a difference maker anymore, to be honest.
Yeah, Jerry Jones is just saying it to say it, basically.
Yeah, he hasn't been like that for a while already.
All right, that's pretty much it for free agency news. That'll be the last topic of today's show. Thanks for watching our 5th episode of the Playmaker Pod. Please follow us on Instagram. I'm pretty sure it's playmaker.pod on Instagram. And yeah, thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. See you guys next time.
Peace out.